Hello Year 6, welcome to your literacy video for Monday. I hope you've all had a lovely weekend. So just before we get started on our literacy work for today, I have popped our new spellings on the board for this week. So your spellings then, you will notice they all begin with W-O-R. Okay, so your spelling rule for this week is the sound spelt O-R. Okay, so like d, word, but it's spelt O-R. So it looks like it's spelled ward. Okay, so work. Okay, so we've got word, work, worm, world, worth, worse, worst, worthless, worthy, and worked. Okay, so I think you will already know what most of those words mean. So worth then, if something is worth something, so you might say, my book is worth £5. That's how much somebody would pay for it. Okay, we know what worse and worst means. Worthless then. So we've added the suffix less on here. So worth means how much it's worth. So for example, it might be money, so it's worth £10. If it's worthless, it's not worth anything. Okay, so you might say, oh, that's just worthless. It can go in the bin. Yeah, worthy and worked. Okay, so if you are worthy of something, so I might say that lots of you are worthy of a treat because you're all doing so well with your home learning. Yeah, so if you are worthy of something, then you deserve something almost. Okay, so your challenge today then is to go onto EdShed, and I have set you all up a challenge. Okay, so go on to challenges. It should say Miss Grindlay's spellings for the week beginning the 8th of February, and then you can go on, and it's lots and lots of points for yourself because it's individuals against each other. Okay, and then I'll be able to log on later on today, and I'll be able to see who has been on, who has been earning points, and I'll be able to send you a marvellous me. Okay, so that's your challenge for some point today. Okay, you don't have to do it now. You could do your literacy work first, but at some point today, I want you to log on to EdShed and go on and have a go at the challenge. Okay, let's have a look then. So, you have all been delivered a brand new literacy book. Okay, so me, Mrs. Evie and Mrs. Carter were very busy on Friday out delivering to you all. So you will have received a new reading book and a new writing book. Okay, we haven't had a writing book yet, so this is something new. And because you've done lots and lots of reading now, and I think we're going to start doing 3 days of writing a week. So on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday, we're going to work in our writing book, and on a Tuesday and Thursday, we're going to work in a reading book. Okay, so today you need this book. Okay, so you get this one in front of you, then this will help you with what you're doing today. Now, you might have noticed on my board behind me that it says we're doing 3 pages today. Don't panic. I know. I've checked. I've had a look, and it's not that much work. So I know that you are all more than capable of doing those 3 pages today. Okay, so our learning question today is, can I show an understanding of how to plan a text? So before you can do any writing, we have to do a plan, don't we? Okay, because otherwise, if we just start writing straight away, it's probably not going to be as good as it could be if we'd planned and if we'd thought about it really carefully and we'd thought about what features we were going to include and all of that. That will help you write a really good, effective piece of writing. So today is all just about planning. So turn to page 3, which is the first page really after the contents page. And it looks like this. Now you'll see on this page, you've only got one question. Okay, so this first page won't take us very long at all. I'm going to go through the first 2 pages with you. Then the page 3, I'm going to go over an example slightly different, show you how to do it, model it to you, and then you're going to go and have a go at writing your own plan. Okay, so we'll do pages 3 and 4 together. So page 3, you've got this question. So it says, Here are some ideas for different texts. Think about what the main purpose of each text would be. Colour the text that would entertain in blue and the text that would inform in red. So I've snipped all of our different texts onto my board and I've written up here, entertain is blue and inform is red. So you need to try and find a blue and a red colouring crayon. If you haven't got them, don't worry. You could just write an E for entertain or an I for inform if you wanted to. Okay, so let's have a look. So this one then says a script for a school play about a daring pirate adventure. Okay, so if it's a script, okay, and it's for a school play, so someone's going to perform it at a school, and it's about a daring pirate adventure. So are we informing somebody of something, or are we trying to entertain? I would say we are entertaining. Okay, I can't colour it in because then you won't be able to see the writing, but I'll just circle it. You can just shade over it lightly if you want to. It's up to you. Okay, so let's have a look. An article explaining new train ticket prices in the region. Is that going to entertain people? I don't think so. I don't think people are going to find that interesting, but people do need to know, don't they? Okay, so if we inform somebody, we're telling them something, some important information that they need to know. Okay, so I'd say that one's red. Okay, so you keep reading. Have a read through the other ones. Have a think. Is it to entertain? So is it something interesting that somebody would enjoy reading about? Or is it to inform? So to tell somebody some information that they need to know. Okay? Let's have a look at the next page then. So turn over to page 4. Now question 2 says the extracts below are from 2 different texts about how chocolate is made. So I've snipped the different ones. So number 1 is, do you know how yummy chocolate is made? Read on to find out about the magic behind this scrumptious treat. The next one then, chocolate is made from cocoa beans, which are native to regions with humid tropical climates, such as Central America. Now your question is, which extract do you think was written for adults? Explain your answer. So then you've got the sentence written out and you've just got to fill in the gap. So it says, I think that extract, you've just got to put 1 or 2 in that gap, but then you've got to explain why. Okay, so I'm going to help you out a little bit. Have a look at words like yummy and scrumptious. I think it's going to be this one. Yeah, I want you to explain why. So I think the extract 1 was written for adults. Oh, sorry, no. We want to know the one that's written for adults, don't we? So it's going to be this one, isn't it? So you'd say, I think the extract 2 was written for adults because, and then explain why. Okay, so have another read through. Have a think, why would that be more for adults and not children? Okay. Number 3 then says draw lines to match each text to the most appropriate style of writing. Okay, so it says a leaflet encouraging children to walk to school. Okay, we've got a mystery story set on a desert island, and we've got a diary entry about what you did at the weekend. Okay, and then this side you've got language that builds suspense, short sentences, first-person chatty language, and persuasive language and commands. Now, if we're trying to encourage children, if this leaflet is trying to encourage children to walk to school, then you're going to try and persuade them, aren't you? So that one would join to that one, wouldn't it? Okay. A diary entry, though, we know we write in first person in a diary entry, don't we? Like I, me, we, my, that's all first person. Okay, so in a diary entry, you would say, I have had the best day ever. And you would write in the first person, wouldn't you? So that one would join to that one. And then a mystery story set on a deserted island, it would build suspense and make it more interesting, especially if it's a mystery story. Okay, so that's that one. The next bit then says, sorry, I haven't put this bit on my board, but it says, what features should a report on the benefits of owning a pet include? Okay, so we did the first part of question 3 together. So I want you to have a go at the second part of question 3 by yourself. So have a think about if it was a report on the benefits of owning a pet, what kinds of features do you think would they include? And you've got 4 to choose from. You can circle more than one if you want to, but circle the ones that you think would be in a report on the benefits of owning a pet. Okay? Okay, question 4 then on page 5 is this. It says, read these extracts from a report on the Vikings in Britain. Circle the extract that comes from the report's introduction. So an introduction in a text is the very first part, isn't it? It introduces what the text is going to be about. So it maybe tells you a little bit of information, but it doesn't give too much away. Okay, so it tells you what the rest of the text is going to be about, and then hopefully makes you want to read on and read the rest. So we need to know which one of these is from the introduction. Let's have a look. So it says, if you'd like to find out more about the Vikings in Britain, there are several great resources online. This one says, around AD 790, ships full of raiding warriors landed on British shores. The Vikings had arrived. Okay, so remember, this is a report all about the Vikings. Have a think which one you think would be in the very beginning of that text. Okay, so which one would be in the first paragraph in the introduction? You circle which one you think it is. The next one then says, below are 3 other topics to go in the report. Number them from 1 to 3 to put them in the most logical order. Now, logical means the order that makes sense. Okay, you could put them in any order, but then it wouldn't be a logical order. Okay, so which ones would make sense to come first? So you've got, what did the Vikings do while they were in Britain? Why did the Vikings first come to Britain? When and why did the Vikings leave? Okay, so why did the Vikings first come to Britain would be number 1. That's going to explain why they even came here in the first place. Then I want you to have a think. So once we've explained why they come to Britain, what would you want to know next? Would it be about them leaving, or would it be about what they were doing while they were here? That's up to you. Whichever one you think comes next, pop a number 2 on, and then whichever one you think is last, pop a number 3 on. Okay? So, the next part then, question 5, is your plan. Okay, now straight away you will notice that the picture on my board is different to the one you've got, because I'm going to do this one with you on the board. I'm going to model how you write a plan, and then you're going to go away and have a go at writing one all about that magician that you've got in your book. Okay, so let's have a look then. So it says, fill in the gaps to complete the plan for this story. You can use the questions and picture below to help you. So the picture is there to help you get some ideas for your writing. So I've got some questions around mine, just like you have around yours. So it says, what's the problem? Is there something wrong with the film? What is Katie's idea? And what happens at the end? Okay, so we need to plan a beginning, a middle, and an end. Okay, so let me get my pen ready. So you've already got little headings that say beginning. You've got some little prompts. Okay, so at the beginning of my story then, I know I've got Katie. I'm going to say this is Katie, but it's up to you. Okay, remember, this is your story you're planning. Okay, so at the beginning of my story then, Katie and her mum. It's not going to be a long story, it's just going to be a nice short story. So Katie and her mum go to the cinema. Okay, that's the beginning. I haven't got to write lots and lots of detail. I haven't got to put adjectives or anything in. This is the one time that I'm going to tell you you can write boring sentences, because it's just a plan. We're just writing some notes, because then you would use this usually to help you write a proper full piece of writing. Okay, so I don't need to say she went to the cinema, she went to the amazing big cinema to watch. I don't need all that. I just need the notes. Okay, so that's my beginning. Katie and her mum go to the cinema. Okay, but it would be a bit boring, wouldn't it, if she just went to the cinema, they watched the film, they enjoyed it, and then they went home. That wouldn't be a very good story, and I don't think anybody would enjoy reading that. So every good story has a problem. Okay, so in yours, for example, it says the spell goes wrong. Okay, so then you've got to expand on that and explain what happens. So with mine in the middle, I'm going to say, suddenly, all the power went out. Okay, so building up a little bit of mystery. So suddenly, all the power went out in the cinema. That's my problem. Okay, something is going to happen. Okay, then I can't just end it now, can I? Because we've got a problem. Something else has got to happen now. Okay, so we've got to almost continue with the problem. What happens now because of that? So suddenly all the power went out. When Katie and her mum went outside. So when Katie and her mum I'm going to make it quite a silly story, I think. So when Katie and her mum went outside, the world, that's in our spellings, isn't it? The word sound here. Oh, if my board's catch up. So when Katie and her mum went outside, the world had been taken over by aliens. Okay, so the more inventive, the more imaginative your story is, the better. So I'd been taken over by aliens. Okay, so that's my story. That's my problem. That's the main part of my problem. Okay. The next bit then, I'm going to say, we need to solve the problem almost. Okay, we can't just say, Katie and her mum went to the cinema, the power went out, when they went outside, the world had been taken over by aliens, the end. Okay, it's got to be solved somehow. It hasn't always got to have a happy ending, but you've got to solve the problem somehow. Now, what happens because of this? So Katie and her mum could be abducted by aliens, or I'm going to go with Katie saves the day. Ooh. Okay, and that is the solution to my problem. Okay, and then you need to come up with your ending. Okay, so Katie and her mum went to cinema, the power went out, they went outside, and the world was taken over by aliens. Katie saves the day, and the ending then is they went home. And so they went home, and Katie, I'm going to leave it on a cliffhanger. Katie, oh, hang on a minute. Come on, board. We all know that my board's got a mind of its own, don't we? So, and Katie didn't realise Katie didn't realise She had, oh, come on board. She had a baby alien in her backpack. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so in her backpack. So then it leaves it on a bit of a cliffhanger. You would want to know what happened next, wouldn't you? I know I certainly would. Imagine if you took home an alien by accident from the cinema. Okay, so I know I've written that. It looks like it's in quite a lot of detail, but you do only need to write in note form. And you have got a couple of lines, so if you write small, you will be able to fit it on. Okay, so remember, your story needs a beginning, a middle, so a problem. Make sure you explain that problem a little bit though. Then it needs a solution, then it needs an ending. Okay, so now your job then is to go have a look at page 5, question 5. So it already gives you the beginning. It says Scott volunteers to take part in a trick at a magic show. The spell goes wrong. So what happens to Scott? That's up to you. Okay. Remember on your picture, have a look at the questions and that will help you to write your plan. Okay, so that's your main task for today. Now, because you are doing 3 pages in your writing book for today, I don't want you to worry about your word power work. Okay, we can catch up on word power tomorrow. Don't worry about that. Just focus on your writing and writing your plan for today. Okay, and don't forget to log on to EdShed at some point today and have a go at that challenge that I have set for you. Okay, I look forward to seeing all of your brilliant, hopefully imaginative plans on the emails later today. See you tomorrow.